Good day, Church of God, dear family, those of you that are already involved in the welfare department of our church. Thank you very much for the opportunity that I have to speak to you at the beginning of a new year with a New Year message, but more importantly, a message for the new year. So I want to premise what I want to share with you for this slot, a spiritual message, namely in Micah 6 verse 8, that talks specifically to the following. He has shown you, O mortal, what is good, and what does the Lord require of you? To act justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God. What an important message for us to bring the church and the welfare and the needs of people together, where specifically there's a requirement for us to act justly, to just do the right thing, to do good, but also to love mercy for others, where you provide so much care and support, and then to walk humbly with your God. I've got a personal motto that talks about the following in the words joy, where we have an acronym, joy, J, Jesus first. Put him first, listen to what he says, what's his instruction, then others. We have a very important ministry in the church to serve others. And then lastly, to look after yourself, because we need you to be strong and full of wisdom from God, and you've got to look after yourself in that way, and then it's easier then to provide for others as well. So please accept that as a very important motto, but let's use Micah 6 verse 8 as our spiritual message, our spiritual vision for 2022. Allow me to quickly talk to you about where we are standing around what we are doing. You guys are aware of it. You are already involved. You've been praying for us, and thank you so much. Our heart is full of thankfulness for the support that we've received from the church, from the NOB, the National Office Bearers, from the National Leadership Forum, from various assemblies. There's an awakening around the needs of others, not just for the welfare organization, but to do welfare work with and through churches. And for the churches to serve the communities, to make sure that charity begins at home, and they serve the older persons and the vulnerable families in their community. They serve them locally, and we have to come there as a welfare department and provide technical support and guidance and respond to the various needs that the churches might have. A partnership is what we're talking about between ourselves and the church. The AFM Church is all over. In every community we have an AFM Church. We can make a much bigger difference. We are reaching about 1,000 in institutions and 1,200, but we're also reaching about 6,000, 7,000 people through the churches, and those are the ones that we know. There are much more that we are doing with and through churches, so it's important for us to take hands and take this very important message from God in terms of serving others, caring for the children, caring for those orphans and widows and older persons, people with disabilities, that we fulfill that particular role and serve God in that particular way. So we have a challenge, financial challenge, and I think it's important we talk about that. But it shouldn't just be about asking you to give money. It's asking you to pray for us, to just continue asking God to intervene. And God has been showing himself as the miracle worker, and I'll talk to you briefly about that in a little while, when we talk about the Belha facility that we have. But I want to say to you that it's so important that we indicate to you that we cannot do this on our own. We need your support. So let me take you to the work that we are doing. So it's older persons in old age homes, frail care centers, as well as assisted living and independent living, and then a large number of children in children's homes and in foster homes. In the old age homes where we have a frail care center, obviously there's a shortfall. There are 3 such facilities in the Western Cape, and each one of those need about 50,000, but we don't have an assembly supporting those churches. In the past, I remember I stayed at the old age home in Sarepta. As a student, I lived there. I understand that environment. I saw what came from the various churches at that particular time. And now suddenly, it's now and then, it's no more a kind of ownership that the churches are taking to support our old age homes. So I'm asking you to start looking at that. It's so important for us to make sure that each one of our 48 children's homes and foster homes and each one of our old age homes have an anchor assembly or 3. Because I'm not saying that there should only be 1, because presently we have a large number of people that have given themselves, the church have given themselves, some have given houses, some of them have given cars, some have given into the welfare ministry, their welfare ministry, partnering with us. And I want to say thank you to them, because without them we would not have survived during this difficult pandemic time. But we've had a recent crisis in one of our facilities in Bella, Cape Town, where the department came in with a complaint which they found that the children were very happy, but there were things that we realized that we needed to improve. So fortunately, we also had an opportunity to talk about that crisis on radio. Just at the right time, the Lord brought that opportunity to us. And in the discussion that we've had on radio, positive responses flowed from that. So thank you, Eris, here, for providing us with that opportunity, because from that point of view, we've received support from our own churches. We've received support from individuals that are not from the AFM church. We've received support, and let me just tell you this, I get a call after this interview, about 2-3 days after the interview, from a lady who represents a foundation and says to me that she wants to help us with the maintenance, because that's the biggest problem in that facility. The children are important, the shortfalls are there. We get 1,000 rand per month per child, and our needs are around about 7,000 rand per month per child to run that place effectively. So it's important to get financial support for that as well. But in this case, and part of our aim is to make sure that many of our old age homes, many of our houses are old houses, and maintenance is a major crisis. And God talks through this opportunity for somebody to come in and says, actually, we want to help you. The important thing that we do is that we help children's homes. We want to help you with this facility. We focus specifically on the maintenance of facilities. Now, isn't that a miracle? Isn't that coming from God and saying that it will help? But that's not the only help we received. We received help from the local churches, from Belleville, from Esterfield, from, obviously, I can't do away, say that we have not received. Over the years, we've received a lot of help from the Bella Assembly as well. But individuals called and said that they want to make a contribution. And God has been gracious, because they've also offered to help us with the governance and to provide make time with the children, provide services to the children, stationery and clothing and so on for that particular home. So clearly, I think God has been very gracious in helping us deal with these issues. Others have come up and said, I want to take over the project management of this place. Where we had a quotation for close to 100,000. That quotation was brought down to around 30,000. Doxa came in and said, we'll provide you with the 25,000-30,000, and God has been gracious around that. What I would like to close with, and just to say this very importantly, is that we need your support, and we would like to see as our vision that we will have an anchor assembly involved in each of our homes. You know, we have men's ministries all over. All we need, biggest need, is that those men will go out, some of them will go out once a year, rotate from church to church, and go out and provide the support. If you're a carpenter, if you're a mason, if you are a plumber, an electrician, any kind of help, but go out in teams, but spend time with the children as well, drink a cup of coffee with them, make time for them, pray with them, and then do the work as well. That's our need. We want to partner with you as an anchor assembly, not just one, but more, but we also want to look at our greatest need, because of our old buildings, we need maintenance. I want to thank God for this opportunity that I can talk to you, and I hope I've reached your hearts, more importantly, and also the calling of God on each one of us to make a difference in the lives of others. God bless you.